And shortly I'll be delighted to welcome to Perth a youth group with a difference. These are the Imps. The difference is that these youngsters, whose ages range from 6 to 16, train to become precision motorcycle riders. Among the older members, the average age is only 12 and a half, so a youngster could spend up to 11 years as a member. The team is open to boys and girls. It was founded in the East End of London 52 years ago, in 1972, by Roy Pratt, who still guides them. And it's dedicated to helping youngsters achieve their full potential. The aim is to help them grow up and benefit from their education and divert them from getting into trouble with the authorities. There are really two basic rules. They mustn't get into trouble with the police after they join the team, and they must attend school regularly. If they break these rules, they lose their places in the team. The team also encourages them to take part in adventures, which have taken them as far as the Sahara Desert and Bermuda in the past. The instructors are off-duty police and from the social and educational services. And by every hour spent riding the bikes, 6 or 7 are spent cleaning and maintaining them. And these youngsters have got to remember around 110 maneuvers. This is the ultimate test of teamwork, thrill, and discipline. They're going to start with one of their most difficult maneuvers, which is jumping over the Jackal armored fighting vehicle. This is one of the most difficult of any of the maneuvers that the team can carry out. The Jackal is on the field, and a team of the young Imps will bring up the ramp. It'll be carefully checked and adjusted so the conditions are just right for the jumper, who is 17-year-old Kai Hilton. So when Kai lines up, you'll be making a bit of a noise, but I would appreciate it if you were quiet to give him complete concentration on what is, for anybody, a very difficult jump. And for a 17-year-old, I beg your pardon, a 15-year-old, a 13-year-old even, a particularly difficult jump, nerve-wracking jump. So the Jackal is lined up, the team is lined up with the ramp, and very shortly young Kai Hilton will be lining up his 250cc bike. I think it looks as though the ramp's now in place, and very shortly I hope that we'll see young Kai bring up his bike and jump the height of this Jackal armored fighting vehicle. The armored fighting vehicle belonging to the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards, based at Lucas in Perth. Now here's young Kai, 13 years of age, just testing the ground, just being quite sure that the ground is not too slippery for him, and that he sees the route clear to the ramp. This may not be the first time that Kai has done it, but each time has its risks. So please give him your complete attention and silence, ladies and gentlemen. Kai Hilton, 13 years of age. Well, as I said, the Imps range from 6 up to 16. And very shortly we shall see the youngest of the Imps traversing the arena. Our thanks go to the crew of the Jackal for their fortitude in staying in the vehicle while Kai Hilton was jumping by them.
I don't think you're dead. What? I don't think you're dead.
Because what the Imps do are tricks. They're not stunts. and it requires a great deal of concentration from all of these young riders for every one of these tricks. The youngest of them are learning the early stages, and they learn them in steps, so that they learn the precision, and they also learn how to keep cool heads when they're riding in formation with their colleagues. In fact, here come the senior riders on their 250cc bikes. They're just feeling the ground. And very shortly they'll be doing the first of their crossovers. That requires a lot of concentration and trust in your fellow riders to make quite sure that they do exactly what you expect them to do and you don't collide. And just to prove the first one was no fluke, off they go and do it again. And that pass through is it's another skillful manoeuvre, because they have to be quite sure that their colleagues aren't going to bang into them as they cross over. And now come the little ones, the minis. The one at the far side, that's the Jimmy, their tribute to the Royal Signals white helmets display team, and the side saddle ride on the side, on one side. You see, oh there. Now you see, he can ride the bike without needing the foot pedals. And there's the side saddle. And even lying down on the job. And there goes young Teddy Wakefield, standing up in the saddle, confident. Not bad for a 7-year-old. So here come the big boys for another crossover. This does require a lot of concentration and, as I say, a lot of trust that the other riders are going to do what you expect them to do. That particular crossover is known as an Irish whip. decision of all heads. Maybe the girl left behind you. The team has got girls and boys in it. And now the backwards ride. Now this is a really difficult maneuver because everything is from back to front. The riders can't quite see where they're going. The controls are the wrong way around. But they manage with remarkable skill, remarkable ease, and remarkable precision. Managed it with applause. Oh, and now the forwards and backwards. A sort of Janus ride. And there's young Kaya pretending he can read. I bet if you look closely, the book's upside down.
No way!
13-year-old Kaya. Look, Mum, no hands. And behind him come the steps. You see, from the front to the back, each one a step higher than the one behind. And here comes the flying angel. That's young Logan on top of the bike, flying through the air with the greatest of ease. A daring young man on the flying angel. Oh, and the ladder jump. Not a jump, I beg your pardon. Yes, the ladder ride on top of an 8-foot ladder. That's pretty good going for these youngsters. But just imagine, it throws the bike right out of balance, but no problem for these youngsters. Especially when they want to show off like that. Now these two are just good friends. On that side saddle at the back. And the good friends come round for another circuit.
Yep.
down on the job. Oh. Well, you see, it really is not that easy. Every so often there's just a little spill, but don't think there's any damage done. Now the big stack with Darren in the middle, with Leonardo, Maya, Riley and Sonny. These youngsters are wonderful, they just bounce. As I say, it takes a lot of concentration, a lot of practice, and as much as anything else, trust in your fellow riders. Both these maneuvers are difficult because the bike's out of balance really, standing on one side or kneeling on the saddle. It's not the easiest way to ride a motorbike. I don't recommend it. But these youngsters do it with great skill. Bear in mind, these ones are only 7 or 8 years old. Display team, and those linkmen between the bikes have to be as supple as ballet dancers, while their colleagues on the bikes have to be absolutely secure and stay the same distance apart. Big pyramid, the 5-bike pyramid. As I said, one of the items respected of any self-respecting motorcycle display team. And as I say, the riders have to be very secure, but the guys between them have to be sure that the riders on either side of them stay the same distance apart. Or as I say, it could be a very painful experience. Well, now coming onto the arena, ladies and gentlemen, are the elements of the fire jump. 5 of the Imps senior riders are going to do one of the most dangerous maneuvers for any bike rider. They're going to jump between 2 walls of flame. All the senior members of the team are capable of performing this feat, and they take it in turns to perform the jump. Although they do have protective clothing, they rely on their skill and accuracy to jump clear through the flames and land safely on the other side. They need to be traveling. Oh, here comes the marvelous sidecar. That's anyway, the fire jump riders need to be traveling 30 miles an hour to carry them through successfully. So it's actually quite a tough test of nerve as well as of the 5 senior riders who've chosen to do this today are Kaya, Sonny, Riley, Romeo and Darren. You've already seen Kaya in action, and now you'll see him and his colleagues. And believe me, there is nothing strange about this stunt. These are real flames that these young riders are jumping through, these walls of flame. So if you're feeling chilly here this afternoon, just think how much warmer the riders will be as they fly between these walls of fire. Those are real flames. So straight through, no problem. Now Sunday. By Romeo. It rather looks as though Darren's bike has stalled, but 4 out of 5 was pretty good, and each one of them went straight through and out the other side without any difficulty. And now the little ones at the front, followed by the senior riders, line up to take the salute. These youngsters are not so much a motorcycle display team as a fully fledged youth organisation. So it's entirely appropriate that 7-year-old Teddy Wakefield should give the salute on behalf of the team. What an inspiring performance we've seen from these young riders. Give them a very big hand as they leave the arena. And just to show that the sidecar is still in action, that's a pretty difficult trick, that, balancing the motorbike and balancing upright in the sidecar. The sidecar is being ridden by George with young Teddy in the sidecar. As soon as we clear the flames, we'll find the youths and the veterans to march through the arena. While the young Imps could jump through the flames, I don't think anybody else would be game to do it this afternoon. But I think we've seen what can be done with a bit of imagination and ingenuity and bringing young people together for good. As I said, the team is dedicated to helping youngsters achieve their full potential, as well as helping them to grow up and benefit from their education, divert them away from getting into trouble with the authorities. So another very big hand, ladies and gentlemen, for the members of the Flying Imps, led by Roy Pratt, MBE.